Hello my crafty friends, this is Mary. Welcome back to Cardz TV. For today's card, we'll be using the 6x6 paper pad from Cardz, and it's called Beach Boardwalk. We're going to use our two-way glue pen, Memento Tuxedo Black ink for the sentiment. We'll be doing some sponging around the edges of our images with this Close to My Heart Indian Corn Blue. This is a beautiful blue ink. We'll use some foam tape, this Paper Studio embossing folder called Tiny Stars. Love that one. The Art Philosophy cartridge, the Life is a Beach cartridge. We'll be using some crochet thread. Did I say the crocodile? We're going to punch a couple of holes with the crocodile. And for our sentiment, we'll be using, this is one of my stamp sets. This is Cardz TV, A Day at the Beach. And we're going to use Anchors Aweigh. We've got a white card base. This is folded to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We've got a solid red mat, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this pretty blue, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we're going to start by running this mat through that little embossing folder. So I'll get my Cuttlebug up here and we'll go ahead and run this through and put some stars on this pretty blue paper. I've got my A plate, one of the B plates, and we'll sandwich our blue paper in between our embossing folder. And I want to line that up so the stars are placed on here evenly. And we'll put that on top of the first B plate. Put the second B plate on. And run this through and get this embossed. I love this embossing on here. This paper has a white core, so you can see a little bit of the white around the stars. I really like the look of that. Now we're going to take that Indian Corn Blue ink, and I've got a little finger dauber, and I'm going to sponge around the edges of this blue cardstock, and then we're going to layer this on top of the red and layer this on our white card base. This is just the prettiest blue. If you're interested in getting any of these Close to My Heart inks, I'll have a link for you at the end of the video, and you can go and check these out with Melanie Brown, who's a Close to My Heart representative. Now I'm going to go ahead and get these adhered together. Now to go on our card base, I wanted a large banner. So I went to the Art Philosophy cartridge, and on page 29, I found this one right here, and I cut it out in 2 sizes. I cut one out of red at 5 1/4 inches. It's going to go right here on the front. And then I found this star paper in that Beach Boardwalk paper pad, and I cut this one out at 5 inches. I'm going to layer these together, and then we're going to take the crocodile and punch a hole, well, 2 holes at the top of this, and we're going to run some crochet thread through there to look like rope. And then I'm going to pop this up on some foam tape and put it right there on the front of the card. Now, I think we're going to use the small hole, and I'm just going to eyeball where I'm putting these. Put one there. Come down about 1/4 of an inch from the top and about 1/2 an inch from the side. That looks about right. Now I think we're going to run, let's see, let's try it with 1 strand. We might want to do 2 strands. Yeah, I think we want to do 2 strands. I love this crochet thread because it has the look of rope, which is what you'd want on a nautical card. we're just going to put it through those holes and tie it in a knot right there on the front. Let's hope I can get both of these through there. Yep. I'll go ahead and get these through and tie these in a knot on the front and get some foam tape on the back and pop this up on the front of our card. Okay, I tried to tie this in a square knot, which I guess is kind of a nautical knot, and I'm probably going to fray the ends of this just a little bit to give it a more realistic look of rope. And I might take some tea-dye distress ink and go over that and give it just a little bit of color. Now I've got this on some foam tape. I'll go ahead and take the backing off and then put this on the front of the card. Now I wanted an anchor to go on the front, so I've cut 3 out of blue, that same blue as this background, and they came from the Life is a Beach cartridge on page 76. I cut this one right here 3 times, and I cut it at 1.5 inches. And the reason I cut 3 is I'm going to put these together to give it a little bit of thickness. And I'll use my 2-way glue pen for that. And then I'm going to take some more of that pretty blue ink and ink around this to help this stand out from those blue and white stars. Now you can see this makes it just a little bit thicker and sturdier. So I'm going to go ahead and get some ink on this anchor, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with it. See how nicely that outlines it? Covers up those white edges. Now I took some white cardstock, and this is approximately 4 inches by 5/8 of an inch. And I took some Memento Tuxedo Black ink and that Cardz TV A Day at the Beach stamp set, and I've gone ahead and stamped Anchors Aweigh. This is going to go right here across the center, and I'm going to put this on some foam tape. And then the little anchor is going to go right here, and you can see how well that blue ink helps that anchor stand out. So I'll go ahead and get some foam tape on this and get this on the front. And then I'm going to go get some tea-dye distress ink and put a little bit on this and ravel these edges out, just to give it a little bit of more of the look of rope. Here's my finished card, and as you can see, I added some little red stars, and I put some more of that crochet thread through the top of the anchor. And then I did take some Tim Holtz tea-dye distress ink and go over the crochet thread just a little bit, and also around this banner. And to give my stars and my anchor a little bit of shimmer and shine, I went over them with a Wink of Stella pen. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's just a little bit of shimmer. I think this would make a great masculine birthday card, or any time you'd like to have a card with just a little bit of a nautical flair. So that's the card for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with me today. Thank you for your wonderful comments, and thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you again soon with another card. Bye now.